This is the summary of the part 3 of the book, The Ikigai Journey. Part 3 is a journey through our present. I've already covered the summaries of part 1 and 2 in previous videos, and I'll have them linked down in the description, so go watch them too. Station 21. Presence. If you aim at two ducks, you will miss them both. That's why multitasking leads to fatigue and burnout. Instead of doing one task, people try to do multiple tasks at once, like watching TV and scrolling through social media at the same time. Instead, complete one task with complete attention and you will do both of them faster. Try to be mindful and present in every task that you do and give it your undivided attention. Like when you are eating, just focus on eating. When you are talking to someone, give them your full attention and they feel good as well. Station 22. To write is to select. Writing is the slowest form of expression, so it actually gives you time to think and organize your thoughts well. It basically organizes your mind as well when you write daily. So it is recommended to journal daily for your mental health as well. I would recommend you to create the 5-minute diary in which you divide each page into two halves, one for morning, one for night. In the morning, write for 3 minutes and write the following prompts: three things that you are grateful for that day, three things that you want to accomplish today, and the statement of today, which is today I am going to blank. And then write 2 minutes in the night, three things that have happened today, and how you could have made the day better. Station 23. Haiku. Awaken your inner poet. Haikus are basically short Japanese poems consisting of 3 lines which do not rhyme with each other. It is always referring to what the poet is feeling in the present moment and usually connected with nature. For example, petal dance, idling wind, eternal springtime. With these 3 lines, it is a haiku written by the author of the book. So there's a challenge for writing haiku daily for 30 days, and then at the end of the 30 days, you will read them all, and you may find out about yourself that which things you like and write more about things you were too busy to notice while thinking about the future and the past. Station 24. Crucial decisions. Each day in our lives, we make tons of little decisions here and there which shape and form our reality and affect our future. However, some decisions are so big which can change everything in our life. Like in those decisions, there is a before and after. So we need to think about a lot before making them. To understand them better, we can analyze our past big decisions or crucial decisions by listing them and what their consequences were. Do the same for the decisions that your life is asking for now, and that will motivate to make those decisions or leave them. Station 25. Night shift. Activating the nighttime office. Lucid dreams are a special type of dreams during which the person is actually aware of the fact that he or she is dreaming. That means the person has somewhat control over the dream. This is a huge opportunity for us in our Ikigai journey because we can use lucid dreams as a tool for exploring our subconscious mind to get answers that we could not get during our waking hours. We can explore the deep corners of our mind and neural patterns. To get lucid dreams, a cool trick could be to think about the topic or write about it before going to sleep so that it is going in your head. And lucid dreams mostly happen during the REM sleep or rapid eye movement sleep, so it will mostly be in the morning. Another thing that works for me is that when you wake up and go to sleep again, you are actually aware in your dreams that you are sleeping, so you can control them. Station 26. Enso. So Enso is basically a circle drawn with a single stroke, like without stopping, just one stroke and it's done. It is used in Japanese calligraphy, and so what it does is that it you have to draw it in single flow, so it unites our body and mind and soul and makes them all present and in the flow state. and repetition also makes us patient. So the exercise of drawing Enzo circles repeatedly one after another is very good for building patience and presence. When you are drawing those circles, don't judge on the drawing. The point is not to draw good circles, but just to flow. Like, if you get what I mean, just to be in a flow state of drawing circles and not focus on anything, giving it your full attention. Station 27, Koan. Koan are basically questions or riddles which are aimed at confusing the solver's mind. They aim at destroying your logical thinking and rational thinking and activating your lateral thinking, which is basically your out of the box and creative thinking. So, master gives his disciple a koan to find the answer, and the disciple works on it and meditates on it, thinks about it for weeks, months, or could even take years, and then he reaches the state of Satori or sudden enlightenment, and he finds out that the answer was so obvious that why couldn't he think of it before, and he gives the answer to his master, which who gives him another koan. An example of a koan could be, what does a one-handed clap sound like? Like, think about it, how can you clap with one hand? You can't solve it with rational thinking. You need out of the box or lateral thinking. Maybe you can try thinking about it for a week and see if you could find the answer for it. Comment it down. Station 28, Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the state of being fully present and attentive in the moment, like an observer, observing every sensation of your body and observing your environment, but not judging it, just just being aware of it. This phenomenon is very rare in the modern day as we are always in a rush and distracted by our duties and tasks. But then in the future we'll regret how life went by so quick and we didn't even pay attention to it and we didn't even remember to live it. To be mindful, we can practice meditation. In this book, 4 activities have also been mentioned that can make you mindful. Number one, the human statue. Basically, you stand or sit still, motionless, without moving anything, and you'll automatically be mindful, observing your whole body and each muscle. The second one is five senses, five sensations. Basically, you have to feel from all your five senses: touch, smell, hear, see, and taste. Basically, feel from all of them. You can combine this with the human statue. The third one is slow race, which is basically about the chapter slow life in part 2 we discussed. And the fourth one is to say your name to bring yourself back. When you're lost in your thoughts or negative thoughts, you can say your name and you will bring yourself back to present. Station 29, Serendipity. When accidents are fortunate. Many good things and famous discoveries actually happen by accident or chance. But this could be only true when we actually pay attention to the out of ordinary things in our everyday life and not ignore them. Like, one example could be the doctor who discovered the antibiotics left a tray mistakenly from which had a lot of bacteria in it, and when he tested it, he discovered that something was killing the bacteria, and hence penicillin was made. So imagine if we just ignored the tray and threw it, we wouldn't have antibiotics today. So the way to increase serendipity chance in your life is could be done in 3 ways. The first is to increase randomness in your life, like going out to somewhere you don't know without a plan, speaking to strangers. You never know who you will come across and how it will change your life and lead to some discovery. The second way is to announcing in the world that you exist and this is what you like to do. You could do this by blog post or social media content so the world knows that you exist, because if no one knows you exist, nothing will ever happen to you. And third is to basically get out and interact more, get out in the world. That's how you'll discover new things and read For example, read a book by an unknown author or by of an unknown genre that you've never read. That's how you can increase serendipity in your life. Station number 30. RAK. Random acts of kindness. It has been proven again and again that kind people are happier. You need to understand that happiness is not a zero sum game. Like for one to be happy, one does not have to be sad. RAK or random acts of kindness can make the one who is doing them and the one who is receiving both happy at the same time. And the acts of kindness that you do actually come back to you eventually as goodwill. RAK can also start chain reactions. Like one day you help someone and he feels happy, so he decides to help someone else as well. So that way you'll start a chain reaction and your one act of kindness could lead to several others. An example of a random act of kindness could be smiling at your waiter or giving a close friend a compliment or sharing notes with a classmate. Station 31. Touch. Importance of touching. Physical contact with other humans is vital for our mental health and nourishment of our soul. However, in the modern world, we rarely touch any other person and immediately think of it in sexual terms. And many people's negative childhood experiences also lead them to hating touch and being awkward around other people. But touch is vital for us to connect with other humans and form a community, and it helps us as the betterment of each other's mental health and emotional health. To build touch in your life, you could start with something as simple as a handshake or a fist bump. Station 32. Uncertainty. Sometimes the best plan is just to not have one. We need to find a balance between control and uncertainty. Too much control in our lives could lead to a boring and mundane life, and whereas too much uncertainty leads to stress. So, a balance is really important. To do so, don't plan every single detail when you're doing something. Let some things be uncertain. This also increases the chance of serendipity, which we discussed earlier, especially while traveling. Go to somewhere you don't know much about and just book the one way plane ticket and the room for the first night, and let everything else be uncertain and be guided by your instinct. Even if it doesn't go well, you will have good stories to tell later. And when you're going to travel, focus more on who you're going to be traveling with instead of where. Uncertainty can really make our life adventurous and more exciting. Station number 33. Kaizen. Constantly changing for the better. Continuous improvement is the only way we'll ever be able to fulfill our Ikigais and reach our objectives. To do so, you can take help of the PDCA circle, which consists of 4 steps. Number 1. Plan. In this step, you figure out a plan to reach the objective. Number 2. Do. In this step, you follow the plan you made in the first step. Number 3. Check. You see in this step if you actually followed the plan, and if you did it work for you? Did you reach your objectives? And number 4. Act. After analyzing from the third step, you decide if you're going to continue, stop, or make the changes in plan. This this cycle keeps on repeating and repeating and leads to continuous improvement. Also remember, failure is not about things not working out as you plan, but failure is when you keep doing the same things and expecting different results. Station 34. Judo, the art of archery. Judo or archery is the exercise for our mind, body, and soul. It requires lots of patience, which is mental stability, and balance, which is physical stability. It teaches us to be calm and relaxed and sharp while facing everyday challenges in our life. The philosophy of this chapter is that the archer aims at himself. You see, the exterior target is not important, but what is within that is important, which leads to spiritual perfection. When you're facing a conflict in your life with yourself or the world, you can help it by shooting 3 arrows in the form of questions at yourself. Number 1, how much responsibility do I have over this problem? Number 2, what could I have done better to avoid it? And number 3, what mental changes should I make to avoid this problem in future? You could use this whenever you are facing a problem in your life and figure out a solution for it. Station 35, which is the last station. Toshugu, the lesson of three monkeys. You must have heard about the three wise monkeys or Gandhi ji ke teen bandar, which represent speak no evil, hear no evil, and see no evil, respectively. The lesson we can learn from these three monkeys are that in our daily life we should consume positive content instead of negative, and we should speak about other people's good qualities instead of criticism, and not speaking bad about someone with other people. Another point mentioned in this chapter is that when you're about to tell someone something which can emotionally affect them, make sure it passes the three filter test, which is that is it truthful, is it kind, and is it necessary. Only if it passes at least one of them, you should tell them the thing. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the book, The Ikigai Journey. I've made the whole summary. You can watch part 1 and part 2. This took so long, and I hope you learned something. So since we have completed all the chapters of the book, The Ikigai Journey, there will be a quest from each chapter, which is your actionable step, which you have to do for each station. There will be 35 quests for 35 stations. Make sure to read them. And thanks for watching.